Inquisitor.
Divine Cassandra. No matter how many times I say it, it still sounds ridiculous. Oh, I'd hate to be anybody in the Grand Cathedral once she takes over. But yeah, if you want to go out and find some trouble, I'm up.
It will be interesting. A divine, likely to punch heretics in the face. It will be difficult to return to Tevinter after all this. I have a good friend here. You don't find those just lying about. Such is my lot. Just a little longer, then.
Cassandra is still trying to adjust to her new title. In time, I'm sure she will settle in. Likely with luck and a steady supply of things to hit.
It's hard to imagine Cassandra sitting through her coronation, let alone acting as divine. She put her faith in me. I will gladly put my faith in her now.
Ah, there you are. I heard about the new divine. Having Cassandra on the throne will go a long way to calming things down. I just hope she'll curb her habit of punching everything she doesn't like. Now, what's next for us? I stand ready, as always, Inquisitor.
So Lady Pentagast will take the Sunburst throne. Cassandra will guide the Chantry back to what she considers its roots, curbing its worst excesses. She will be an unusually forthright divine, however.
Cassandra wants what's best for the people and the Chantry.
There have been divines far less suited to the position, and few can deny the conviction of her faith. I wish her well. She has no easy task ahead.
Cassandra is not settling into her new role with any grace, but that's hardly a surprise. She'll perform admirably as divine, I have no doubt.
I hear your mages are looking to start a whole separate college of enchanters. Be interesting to see if they can avoid pissing everyone off this time. What's more important is there are still rifts out there spawning demons. I'm ready to kick some ass whenever you are.
Hey.
Hi.
You always know what to say. Nothing bothers me now. Not like Cassandra, right? Wearing the big hat now. Lots of people for her to be angry at. Whatever. It leaves time for us, and whatever you want to do. In bed. Or out there. Mostly in bed.
Andraste's Grace, tell me that you need me to come with you. I need to hit something with my sword, repeatedly.
Is everything all right? You seem...
Agitated? You can't even imagine. The clerics are drowning me in preparations for my coronation. I must meet with everyone individually to hear their concerns. Their concerns are endless and petty. Every old grudge is now mine to solve. Yet I can do nothing until after the coronation. It is maddening. Give me a reason to travel with you. I don't know how much more of this I can take.
If that's what you want, by all means. I'd love to have you back.
Thank the Maker. I will tell them it's an emergency. Inquisition business. Let them run about in a panic without me for a while. Better than my accidentally throttling someone. Let's go, before someone shows up to tell me I can't.
Is it me, or is Cassandra more solemn than usual?
Lady Pentagast only contemplates what awaits the next divine.
You know Cassandra hates being called Lady Pentagast.
I look forward to seeing Divine Victoria's reaction to the ceremony around her inauguration.
If you squint, Lake Callanhad is shaped like a bunny.
Perhaps we should take a...
Oh, I think I see it.
Another parade, another bloody negotiation.
Smiles, everyone. We must be careful how we present ourselves.
Why did Divine Victoria call the Exalted Council? She's kept Orlais from bothering us for the last 2 years.
At increasing political cost, yes. She has done all she can, but the Exalted Council has become necessary. Orlais would control us, and based on their many marriage proposals, they have specific plans for you. Our real concern is Ferelden. They would see us disbanded entirely.
Inquisitor, it has been too long. I hope the years have been kind to you.
How have you been, Mother Giselle?
I spent last summer in Emprise de Lyon, distributing food sent from the Exalted Plains. The Dales are finally recovering.
Corifeus left a great deal of damage for us to repair. I appreciate your efforts.
And I yours, Your Worship. I should mention that your forces at Suladin Keep were of great help. Please give my compliments to Baron Deschedin. Divine Victoria asked me to greet you on her behalf. She is currently attending to the Ferelden ambassador's concerns.
You can probably just call her Cassandra in private conversation.
You can, Inquisitor. I prefer to use her divine name. Our last divine once joked about why I insisted upon calling her Justinia. She called it my way of reassuring her that I had not completely forgotten who was in charge.
How do you think Divine Victoria has done these last 2 years?
It is hardly for me to say, Inquisitor.
With respect, that's never stopped you before, Mother Giselle.
Victoria says she is better suited to the battlefield than the Sunburst throne, but she has restored the Chantry. And also people's faith in it. We are lucky to have her.
I'll speak to Divine Victoria.
I believe she would appreciate that, Your Worship. The Divine sees the good that you can do and have done. Duke Cyril will wish to greet you on behalf of Orlais. I believe he is currently speaking with the Tevinter ambassador. Many of your friends have returned as well. I hope you have a chance to speak with them before the Exalted Council begins.
The Imperium sent an ambassador?
Yes, Your Worship. Dorian Pavas has taken the chance to return from Tevinter. It will be good to see him again. I owe him my apology. I allowed my distrust of Tevinter to cloud my judgment. He took a great risk coming to help us, and deserved better treatment.
You're going to apologize? To Dorian?
I have little patience for those who cannot admit they were wrong, Your Worship. Myself included. I will have to make my apologies somewhere public. He will want an audience for his reaction.
Who has returned for the Exalted Council?
Your dwarven friend, Master Tetras, for one. I understand he spent much of the last few years in Kirkwall. I believe Sir Blackwall has returned as well, although he now uses the name Tom Ranier. Enjoy time with them while you can, Your Worship. I doubt you will have the chance once the Exalted Council is underway.
Thank you, Mother Giselle.
Your Worship, a final question, if I may. This Exalted Council, Ferelden would have the Inquisition disband. Orlais sees its power as another feather in a chevalier's helmet. What do you wish to do with the Inquisition?
You once told me about the first Inquisition that took place 800 years ago. You said that when their battle was over, that Inquisition soldiers sheathed their swords and went home. If our battle is truly over, perhaps it's time for us to do the same.
Thank you. Make a watch over you, Inquisitor. I will not keep you any longer.
The Prince of Starkhaven wrote to you again.
Of course he did. Just put that one in the pile with letters from the Merchants Guild.
And the captain of the city guard had a very colorful message for me to deliver to you as well.
Inquisitor! Andraste's ass, am I ever glad to see you.
Are you in some kind of trouble? What's happened this time?
So suspicious. I'll have you know I've never been convicted of anything. Officially. This is Bran Caven. Until recently, he was the Viscount...
Provisional Viscount.
Of Kirkwall.
And what are you doing now?
I have resumed my post as Seneschal now that Master Tethras has been elected Viscount.
You're the Viscount of Kirkwall now.
Well, it seems the two of you have a great deal to discuss. Why don't I just leave you to it?
So, it turns out you fund enough reconstruction efforts in a city-state, the nobles give you the worst job they can think of.
That's fantastic. You'll make an excellent Viscount.
I think the nobility figured, after Dumar and Perrin, what's the worst that could happen if we put the dwarf in charge? They voted me in because I got the harbor and businesses up and running again. They want shit fixed, and I can do that. Anyway, I was hoping I'd catch you before the summit got underway. I got you a sort of present. It's official recognition of your title and holdings in Kirkwall. Congratulations. You're a Comtesse now.
You can't actually do that without...
Too late. Already did it. Also, your mercenary company, the Valokas. They work for Kirkwall now. I just know my guard captain will love the Shokrakar.
Guard Captain Aveline has been to my office 11 times in the last week to complain.
You were leaving us to talk, remember?
This is possibly too much, Varric. I don't know what to say.
That's nothing. Practically nothing. Don't mention it. Oh, that reminds me. It's the key to the city.
You can't give that away without approval from the council and a special ceremony.
It's just symbolic anyway.
It controls one of the giant chain nets in the harbor.
Really? That is so much better than I thought.
Thank you. I'm touched. A little bit horrified by this key now, but still touched.
Please don't give anything else away.
I don't know how this council thing is going to end for the Inquisition. But whatever gets decided, you've got a place lined up in Kirkwall if you want it. Also, control of the harbor, I guess. Anyway, you should meet with the diplomats. And we'll get in a game of Wicked Grace before I go back, though, right?
I wouldn't miss it.
Don't bet any public buildings this time.
Inquisitor, I see you have time for afternoon refreshments.
Glimmering, glittering, perfect cut, mask a maze of gemstones. She will think it pretty.
Excuse me, I might,
I appreciate the help getting him elsewhere.
He wants stones the color of his eyes. Happy, bright, beaming, being seen, not seeing. And I needed the table.
For breadcrumbs?
Birds like breadcrumbs.
Inquisitor, how good to see you here. I came to sit and pen another song.
Sweet songs, poignant pain plants joy that grows later. She can't see me. I help her help people.
I gathered.
You're smart and kind. You're worthy of true love.
Hello, Halam Shiral! The fire of Zither must be fueled by wine, ideally shared with adoring fans.
But not with him. You need somebody nice. Yes, better. He'll be gentle. So will you.
You're with the Chargers, are you not? I've seen you in the Skyhold Tavern where I sing.
Oh yes, I love your songs. Sometimes I'd sit up on the chair to take a better look at your songs. The Chargers have their own song, if you'd like to hear it.
Good.
You sure they'll both be all right when Krem tells her?
Strong arms, a sweet voice. Father wanted me to be happy.
Which one of them is that?
Both.
Your Worship, I'm glad you're here. Listen, I need you to keep the Chief distracted while we sneak this dragon skull through the room behind him.
I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
It's for his birthday.
I'll see what I can do, Krem.
All right, here he comes. Just keep him talking. He loves talking.
Hey, boss. Good to see you.
Do you think news of the Exalted Council could affect the lyrium shipments from Orzammar?
Maybe.
It's good to see that the Veil has largely healed, now that most of the major rifts are closed. You might think otherwise, but the Veil isn't technically a physical barrier. It's more like a magical vibration that repels the Fade. It's fascinating to see the remnants of Syrian culture here. Most of it was deliberately erased during Orlesian unification under the reign of Mafarath's son, Isarath.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that Ferelden has its own names for lords? The country is divided into Ternirs, governed by Terns. Inside those are cities and Arlings ruled by Arls, and then there's the Banorn. It's a large area of countryside ruled by multiple bands.
Good to know.
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Sure you can. They must have that thing almost across the room by now, right? Ben Hasra. Remember?
Surprise! Happy birthday, Chief!
Oh, you guys. You got me.
By the side of the divine, Cassandra sees the truth and finds her work.
Hey, boss.
Here's you! And everyone! Glad to be back, all stuffed together. With the pressure full on. Again. Don't worry, Herald of Everywhere. I came prepared. I know what everyone needs. Just like best times.
I expected a roof.
It's early. Anyway, that was a good run. It's all been a good run. I needed that. And I need... You know it's ending, right? We can say it won't, but knobs in places like this, all they do is end things. Even I can tell, and I'm... No, I won't be stupid anymore. I wrote it down so I wouldn't, so I can just tell you, and it's done.
Sera, if you're worried about something, you should just tell me.
8, 9, 10. Is she done talking? Continue. I like new, but hate change. But I can't stop it this time. Usually, I hope it doesn't matter, because lots of times I feel I've seen things before. So who cares? It'll all come round again. But every day, I've never felt this with her. And if it's always only once, then I can't... I didn't... The rest is just sketches. There's flowers, and I think it's your butt. So... marry me? I mean, it's whatever, but you and me are somehow really, really good, and all these endings can get right off that. Really, Teetnus. For real. Want to get married?
You're a loony.
Tell me, do. That's a yes?
All the yeses. Every freaking one.
That's our bells, knobbers. We friggin' win. Hello, love. Tell me do when we're done fixing things. I have sideways plans for you.
Hey, boss.
Hello.
Fashionably late. I thought you weren't gonna show.
I gave you my word we would talk, and I never break my word.
Easy there. I was just teasing. So tell me everything that happened while I was away. And after the betrayal, and what I put those men through, my sorries were worth about as much as shit.
Are you glad you at least tried to apologize?
It's hard to say. I go back and forth most days. They needed to know that there's a way to come back from anything. And I wanted to help them if I could. I thought going up there on the gallows was difficult. This was worse. 100 times worse. Anyway, it's nice to be back. Though I'm not sure what to think of this council. No matter what, you know you can always count on my sword arm and my friendship.
I'm getting a little worried for the palace. And any passerby.
It's been quite a day so far, has it not? I've been speaking with representatives from everywhere.
Have they given you trouble?
Not at all. It is quite alarming. It means they are all saving themselves up for later. Would you walk with me? I should like to take some air before the Exalted Council becomes inescapable. The palace has been most accommodating. We are, after all, here at their insistence, but the ministers may... No. No more talk of the council. This meeting was to spend time with you in a more relaxed fashion.
Is this in your daily notes? 3 to 4 o'clock, idle chats with the Inquisitor.
Of course not. Not precisely. The truth is, there is a small entertainment happening tonight, to which I may be able to find a pair of invitations.
You'd like me to go with you?
Very much so. In all the years you worked with Orlais, you had so little time to enjoy its culture.
Perhaps you're right. These meetings and talks don't allow for much leisure time.
And then back to Skyhold without a moment's pause to take in where we are. With all that's been happening, I promised myself a single evening out. I'd very much like to go with a friend.
And what is this small entertainment?
Something to ease our minds. I would very much like to surprise you with the details.
Thank you for thinking of me. I'd be delighted to attend.
Splendid. I will arrange things at once. The past years have been so busy. We have earned at least a few moments of rest.
A calm night out sounds...
Oh, bravo! Bravo!
Was the woman in gold playing a king? Who was the man in feathers?
Oh, it's all very simple. The first actor's mask is determined by... well, I will lend you the program guide. But tell me, did you enjoy the performance?
That was... one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Truly.
That part with the glittery... and they actually set fire to... Yes, I truly enjoyed it.
Then I call tonight a great success. Oh, look! The encore signal!
You there! You're to dodge, not catch. If that ball were a fireball, you'd be dead.
You found a dog?
They don't breed Mabari in Olay. The merchant said he was abandoned. Perhaps his owner's tired of the novelty.
Tire of you? With that positive attitude and fetching ability?
He's not supposed to fetch it.
I don't think you understand how this works.
Another Ferelden trapped at the Winter Palace. I couldn't leave him to that fate. Besides, I think he likes me.
You could take him to Ferelden sometime. He should know where he came from.
I did promise my sister a visit. She might try to spoil you. Remember who you report to. The Inquisition will change after this. I'm not yet sure what that will mean. Whatever happens, our people, you, Leliana, Josephine, will have my support in whatever form you require.
If your support comes with that of your new friend, I'm sold. I know a useful ally when I see one.
You can help. Dodge this, and I'll find overpriced Orlesian dog treats before we go.
Good. Maybe.
Will you walk with me? The first time I came to the Winter Palace, I was only 18. I was dazzled. Such rich hangings, splendid marble columns, more golden lions than I could count. It's all still here, still bright, but I no longer see that same palace.
And that makes you sad?
It is easier on the heart to just see gilding. Now all I can see are the knives in the shadows, the poison in jeweled goblets. They seek to tear the Inquisition down. You feel it, no? Fear.
Have we not made enough allies?
If friends were easily made and kept, we wouldn't need diplomacy. Our allies can be cordial to our faces and still dread the future. They are afraid of nothing so much as the hand that directs it all.
Mine.
Already your actions have begun to reshape Thedas. Your influence is felt everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they moved. I'm surprised it took this long. It may be time to end things.
The Inquisition has done enough, more than enough. Maybe it's time for us to lay down our swords and go home.
We set out to restore peace, and now peace is upon us. But I know from experience how hard it can be to lay down your blade and accept that things have changed. We can still work for the good of Thedas without the Inquisition, but the time for soldiers and spies has passed. You have suffered terrible things, Inquisitor. I hope you still see the light ahead of us. The world is ready to move past the horror of the Breach and Corifeus, and so should we. But whatever you decide, I will be honored to stand beside you.
Darling, you made it. Excellent. I scheduled this appointment ages ago, and they do appreciate punctuality.
Appointment?
With the Imperial Garden Spa, of course. You work so hard, my dear. I wanted to treat you.
I feel like I'm going to break something in here. Or someone.
You'll present the staff with a special challenge, darling. The experience will be good for them.
What are the cheese wheels for?
It pains me that you even have to ask. You've clearly been living too long in barely civilized conditions.
Did you hear something?
Relax, darling. It's spa day. How have you been? It seems ages since we've spoken. Is everything going well between you and Sera?
Are you digging for gossip, Vivienne? Trying to get me to give up the juicy details?
Merely expressing concern for your well-being, my dear. Someone ought to.
You must be keeping very busy.
The Circle needs more supervision than a toddler. It may master using the Privy on its own any day now. Don't you feel better, my dear? This place really does work miracles.
What happened?
Darling, it's spa day. Don't fret. You'll undo all the good they've done. Come along, Inquisitor. They have other appointments, you know.
Watch your tongue.
Naked.
Watch your tongue.
Naked.
Of course. Why not?
Where is that servant?
Ole is on your side, Lord Parvis. The Inquisition's support is not a thing to lose lightly.
Which is why the Orlesian court is circling it with a net and collar? But you'll have to excuse me. I see an old friend I must greet. Inquisitor, how long has it been? Don't actually tell me. I despise feeling old. It's good to see you, my friend.
You arrived ahead of me. I hope all's well.
It's everything I expected. We've been spared the burden of surprise. Orlais wants the Inquisition tamed, Ferelden wants it gone, the Chantry meddles, and Tevinter sends but one ambassador. That's me, by the way. A reward for my interest in the South. Thankfully, Ambassador Pavus is a token appointment. Call on me as you like.
Inquisitor, Duke Cyril Montfort, member of the Council of Heralds and Lord of Chateau Haine. I have long followed your work. It is extraordinary.
Is that sentiment shared by the rest of the court?
Of course. Orlais wishes only to offer respectful guidance to the Inquisition.
The Inquisition's grown. It would be shocking if they didn't find us a threat.
Yet you've started no major wars. The Inquisition is a very considerate rival. I have not forgotten Justinian's death. I had friends who perished at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. More than the good you have done, it is the good we may do together I don't wish to lose. Whatever happens, Inquisitor, I wish you well.
Divine Victoria, am I interrupting?
Not at all. The Jarl of Redcliffe was telling me of events in Denerim. He represents Ferelden at the summit.
Inquisitor, good to meet you.
How are things in Redcliffe, my lord?
Blessedly quiet. The mayor conveys his greetings. Redcliffe remembers its savior.
I'll try not to keep you from more important matters.
Very well. We'll continue this later, your perfection.
I am supposed to be impartial while speaking for the Chantry, but I confess that neutrality is beyond me. I may be the Divine, but I will always be your friend. And I can hardly ignore the fate of the Inquisition that I began.
Is there anything I can do to make your job easier?
You could find me a sword and something to hit. I must attend to other matters. If you need me, I am ready to assist. Unconditionally.
I'm glad you finally arrived, Inquisitor. The Crown's anxious for news.
And your thoughts on Ferelden's position?
The breach is long gone, yet Skyhold's army remains. Ferelden can't continue to ignore soldiers on its borders.
The Inquisition has grown. I can see how its presence might cause concern.
Then you understand why we must demand a reduction of your military forces. A power without allegiance to either Ferelden or Orlais? Even I see neither of our countries can let it rest. I won't keep you longer. We'll have words enough when the Exalted Council begins.
As the most eloquent dwarf you know, Sparkles...
Speech! Speech! Way too much speech.
Varric, there's really no need.
What's going on?
Inquisitor! You're just in time. Sparkles, the Imperium doesn't deserve you. Or want you. It may even kill you. But we'll miss you. If it counts. And you didn't know. Okay, folks. Time to take the party elsewhere.
Tommen never wanted any. I swear.
Leave him.
It's true. When the Exalted Council has ended, I'm going back to Tevinter. For good, this time.
You know I'll miss you.
Naturally. My father is dead. Assassinated, I believe. I received notice this morning. A perversely cheerful letter congratulating me on assuming his seat in the Magisterium. We only met a few times while I was home. He didn't say anything about keeping me as his heir. This ambassadorship, his doing, I'm told. He must have wanted me away when the trouble began. I have to go back.
So you'll truly be a Magister?
Oh, yes. I can't wait to degrade the Magisterium with my presence. A new outfit is required.
And then what?
I find my father's killers and kill them back. Then I find those giving Tevinter a bad name and kill them. They're most likely the same people, so that should make the job easier.
You'll need help. I could go with you.
Not this time, my friend. I won't be entirely without support. Mayveris has gathered other Magisters who feel as we do. We'll be an actual faction in the Magisterium. I'll teach them manners, take them shopping. It'll be fun.
I know it was complicated, but I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. It still doesn't feel real.
You don't have to go back, Dorian. You put it behind you, you still could.
Give up a golden opportunity for martyrdom? Perish the thought. A present. A going-away present. It's a sending crystal. Amazing what friendship with the Inquisition gives you access to. If I get in over my head, or you're overwhelmed with sorrow for lack of my velvety voice... magic. What? You didn't think I would just leave and you'd never hear from me again, did you? You are my dearest friend. Perhaps my only friend. That will never change, no matter where we are. Now let's finish the good wine before the others get back.
Proper Belle Royale must be here.
Oh.
Is everything all right?
Yes. Well, I wanted to speak with you, and now you're here.
This seems serious.
It's not about me. It's about you. Maybe you should sit.
I can stand.
Maybe I should sit. Inquisitor, I want you to know that I am your friend. I will always be your friend.
Oh, well, that's...
So I hope to give you sound advice on this momentous day. Do what is in your heart, my friend, no matter what anyone might tell you.
That's a lovely sentiment, Cassandra.
Marriage is much more than a lovely sentiment, Inquisitor.
Marriage?
Of course, it is Sera. Maker knows how it will end, but that doesn't mean... You're not proposing to anyone. I am going to kill Varric. Why do I believe everything he says? Why?
He said I was going to propose.
He mentioned a proposal. I suppose I filled in the blanks. Or he did this on purpose. That dwarf gets entirely too much joy from my discomfort.
I might get married. I've thought about it.
I suspected as much. Being Inquisitor has brought you good things. Many good things. But only a few have been by your choice. Take what happiness you can from those and do not let them go. That is all I meant to say. Advice from a friend for the days to come. How did Varric, of all people, become the Viscount of Kirkwall? A mystery for the ages.
You have it. Of course not.
Here, maybe.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Our goal was to keep more Ferelden citizens from dying, not to seize power.
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain. Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. The Inquisition is the only reason Selene still has the throne.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Sister Leliana asked to speak with you in private.
My apologies. An urgent matter has come to my attention. Ambassador Montillier, can you handle this for a short while?
Of course, Inquisitor.
This is highly irregular.
Are we not even worth the Inquisitor's time?
Inquisitor, I thought you would want to see this. A Canary warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace?
So, what would the left hand of the Divine see when she looked at this?
This is a warrior, not a spy. Part of the Antam, the Canary military. Most of his wounds come from a fight against someone using magic, but at least a few are from a blade. He was badly hurt, separated from his allies, and made it here before he died. But how?
Would the Iron Bull know anything about this?
I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. Since becoming Talvashov, he has had no contact with his people. He seems frustrated at not knowing more.
We need to find out what's going on. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around?
She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will ask Divine Victoria to call a recess for now. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be.
You think that's likely?
I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected.
Looks like he came down over the railing. An active illuvian. If I'm going through it, I'm not going alone. The crossroads. Morrigan brought me here while showing me the illuvians. Judging by the bloodstains he tried to get through here.
Is something wrong?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it.
Not quite where we wanted to go, but still, not bad. Everyone ready?
The blood trail leads to this mirror.
Let us see where this Kunari came from.
Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Kunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
He's part of their military, dressed for war.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
A powerful one. I can still feel the heat crackling.
We need to find out why these Kunari were here and who did this to them. Over there, Kunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
The elves bound a spirit here. It feels old. Very old.
What does it want? I think I know what to say. Milana de Thavarin. Rivas, Vir Anaris.
Seemed to work. What did you say?
It was part of a ritual. A secret greeting from those Fen'Harel trusted. If Mithal's Well of Sorrows knew this, were they close? Friends, or... I'm not sure.
Seems like the Kunari weren't just passing through.
These Kunari were running when they died. Let's find where this battle began. A letter by the Kunari. Why are they translating it into our language? That was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves.
You mean the ancient elves kept slaves? Maker's breath. One more thing never to tell Daisy.
This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the dreadwolf Fen'Harel.
Fen'Harel? The Dalish elves' god of misfortune?
That illuvian only took us a short distance. That's the same lake we saw from the other tower.
So the old elves had many uses for these devices.
Go again. What a change of pace from the Winter Palace. A clear sky, a beautiful view, and yes, fields and fields of stripweed as far as the eye can see.
Strip what?
Terrible stuff. Looks like grass, stings like a knife, and causes sores if you so much as brush against it. So, of course, everyone in Menrathus insists it makes a very decent tea.
So, we're getting the band back together. That's exciting.
We are not a band of any sort.
Just because you can't carry a tune seeker doesn't mean you're not front and center in our band of misfits.
Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
He took great pains to renounce his supposed divinity.
Ordinary guy saves people, accidentally founds religion. Sounds a lot like the chant, actually.
Fen'Harel sounds like quite the rebel. The old elven gods must have simply loved that.
the elven gods were just Evaneris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Was this the start of an uprising? Freed elven slaves against their former masters?
If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
Everything okay?
It felt like the anchor stung me. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.
This place is creepy.
Wounds on the back, no blood on his sword. Someone took him by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry. Kunari! Why did those Kunari attack the Inquisition on sight?
Kunari never act without orders. A commander in the Qun must have given them.
Are you saying the entire Kunari nation wants us dead?
Well, at last the Inquisition and Tevinter have something in common.
That's Fen Harel, removing the face markings from a Dalish elf.
Isn't this place older than the Dalish?
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning. What's this? Hidden weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Evenuris posing as gods.
Interesting word, Evenuris. If all it means is mage leader, well, they were basically magisters.
This letter says the Kunari came to these ruins because the Alluvians connect to Halam Shiral.
A staging ground for an invasion?
It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details.
I cannot even tell you how good it is to be an armor again instead of fancy vestments.
You mean you didn't just wear armor under your robes? I'm shocked.
I tried. It was much too hot.
Look for anything that explains why the Kunari came here before we go. A note about an unknown intruder coming through an alluvion. They turned spirits against us, then fled.
It must be a mage. They killed any Kunari in the way and let the spirits do the rest.
Two parties then. The Kunari, and a mystery agent determined to stop them. Come on, we have to warn people about the Kunari's designs on the Winter Palace.